ever since you left that situation and you left these people and they just went on with their lives and you went on with your life, you see, these people, they unleashed so much pain and heat on you, and they just left. It made you carry the burden. And then they went on with their lives. They were able to do other things, and they had no remorse and no guilt for what they did to you. But the whole entire time they're moving on with their lives, not one time have they healed any part of themselves. Not one time have they self-reflected on how they treated another person that did not deserve what they gave. The person you didn't do that. You didn't do anything to these people that remotely bad for them to have so much anger and animosity towards you. They wanted to make it seem like you were the problem and you were causing all of this, but because they lack self-reflection, because they are filled with that spirit of pride, their pride doesn't want them to look in the mirror. That pride wants them to point the finger. And basically, they were not self-aware or self-conscious to know that all of that pain that they were directing and putting it on you and unleashing that pain on you was the pain that they had already been feeling within them. So these people were hurt, and they were bitter in their hurt because their heart turned them cold. Their heart turned them bitter. So when they came across a loving person and you had so much love in your heart and they did not have that same love in their heart, you had a lot of warmth in your heart, but their heart was very cold. So when they came across a warm heart and a genuine giving spirit, they did not know how to receive that warmth and love that you were giving and you were offering to them because their heart turned too cold. And because you can only give what's in your heart. So they gave their coldness, you gave your warmth. And because they were unable to reciprocate that same amount of love that you were giving, they could not fathom how it was possible for you to give that love, but it was not possible for them. Because the people that they had built connections with were very superficial and very surface level. You know, like these connections that they built with people, they didn't really go deep beneath the surface and talk about their pains and their traumas and how they are working to heal them. They didn't tell each other their stories. They didn't talk about how hurt they have been. They didn't, you know, look to the people around them for emotional support because they wanted to just brush everything under the rug. And as long as their relationships and friendships with others could remain surface level and superficial, and us just doing everything we can to get by and sustain, but not further deepen this connection by further deepening the connection that we have with ourselves. You see, it's like with these other connections, it was superficial, it was shallow, it was surface level, but with you, it was deeper. Your relationships with others require more depth because you go deep within your own emotions, deep beneath the surface, because you want to get to know people to their core. You want to know a person's soul, not their flesh. You see, these people, the reason why they had other relationships and friendships with others, and it seems like they had a good time, it's because their flesh was friends and lovers. It only existed on a surface level. Because that's why those seem to have flown a lot better, because it didn't require them to look deep within themselves. Come on, Spirit. But with you, it was going to require you. It required them to look a little deeper, and they could not do that. They did not want to do that. That's why they shied away from you, and they walked away in some cases. But then let's explain why they were so cold, why they were so mean to you. It was because your love that you were able to give made them feel so inadequate, because they know that they could not give that same amount of love that you were giving. You had so much empathy, and you can understand a person's feelings, and you love people unconditionally, and you are the type of person where even when a person got snippy or snap, you still would give the person respect regardless of how they treated you, because you're that type of person. The thing is, you're not like them, and they understood that. They knew that you were different. They knew that you weren't like them. They knew that they were cold. They knew that they were mean, and they were okay with it. They were okay with being that way. And when you came around and you were giving them so much love and loving these people unconditionally and giving them respect and giving them more forgiveness than they needed, your love kept making them feel worse about themselves, because they're like, if I was in that position, if I was in their shoes and I said to them or I did to them that, then they basically like, if I were in your shoes and somebody was talking to me that way and treating me that way, I would not turn around and be good to that person. I would just leave them alone. But the fact that you are still good to that person, yeah, they realized you are not like them. They realized that you are just a good person. You are a good spirit. You are a gentle soul. And they realized that no matter how horrible they tried to treat you, you did not turn around and match their energy in the moment with them. And they just could not grasp how you can be such a good, loving person, because they got so used to being a cold-hearted, bitter, nasty, vile, evil person. You see, they get fuel off of treating people wrong and hurting others. You get fuel off of loving others and giving to others and treating others with kindness and respect. So you get fuel off of being good, while they get fuel off of being bad, because they feel that because the world has been bad to them, that now they have to be bad to everybody else, because now they're making everybody else pay the price for how they were treated. But you are different. The world has been bad to you, but you're like, I'm not going to be bad to the world because of that, because I know how that feels. You see, your pain made your heart better, B-E-T-T-E-R, while their pain made them bitter, B-I-T-T-E-R. And they knew, and it's not to say that you're better than them, but they knew that you were a better person than them, meaning you were a kinder person, a loving person. You had a warmer heart than theirs. They knew that you were just a good person, and they are not good people. But they had others around them that ignored their bad behavior, enabled their bad behavior, and still was around them regardless. And the bad people that were around them was not going to take that negative energy, because they're bad people. And when bad people are together and animosity or anger or arguments happen, those bad people are going to come out and show their true colors and be bad people to each other. So they knew that it's like, let me go ahead and just be cordial and cool and kiss these people ass, and I'm not going to give them that negative energy, because they could easily throw that energy back on me, and I don't want that energy thrown back on me. But they knew you being such a good person that if they threw that energy on you, you wouldn't give it back to them. They just wanted to unleash their energy. They didn't want that energy reciprocated. That's why they treated you so wrong and used you as their scapegoat, because they knew deep down you're not the type of person that was going to retaliate against them that way. It does not make it right, because this entire time that they've been doing that to you, they have not grown, they have not evolved. Their heart has gotten more bitter and cold, and they are still stuck on that hamster wheel, being this horrible person that they are, while you have healed and evolved and a better person despite all the pain that you've been through. because you see that this is their own problem.